All right, you're on.
All right, I think we're live on Facebook. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so fun. Take everyone on a little ride.
I know, taking everybody into outer space.
I hear the outer rim is quite nice this time of year.
Where was it that you said earlier?
I believe it's who's that guy? Han Solo told me about it.
Oh, he did.
Or was it Kylo Ren?
Might have been Kylo.
I think it was Kylo. I think he's brutal though. He's the father of Han Solo. That is a.
He might be the scariest villain that I've seen on Star Wars, to be honest.
And Chewbacca. Oh hey!
Oh hi!
I forgot we were taking you guys on the ride.
Welcome, welcome.
We can
welcome
always
to our
spin
TIE
around
Fighter.
Welcome to the TIE Fighter. We were really interested in taking you guys on a little adventure here.
Yeah, we're pretty excited to have you guys in our outer space expedition today. StreamGeeks Outer Space Edition. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. We were just picking up the latest intergalactic guide and noticed that there was some fun places we can take you guys today. The show is going to be all about live streaming in outer space, so we're going to take you all around.
Yep, we are in our TIE Fighter, straight from the edition of Star Wars, and let's see who is coming on this outer space adventure with us today. Christopher Hall.
Hi, Christopher.
Christopher says, my question is, why is Tess not wearing buns? I have buns right now in my hair.
Yes.
This is my modern day rendition of the Leia buns. They are braided buns. I wasn't prepared enough to have, traditional Leia buns, to do the full on. But I am wearing buns, okay? So I'm fulfilling that need.
Yes. We're going to take you on a tour of live streaming telescopes, so we thought the Star Wars themed would be kind of fun.
We thought you guys would appreciate it. We got to get closer because...
Yeah, we either got to get really close. Let's see what they're doing over... Oh, we can't get too close.
We can't get too close.
I can see what you guys are doing over there. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So that's what it looks like in Facebook Live land.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We're looking back onto Earth right now.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. We just hit 1,000 subscribers.
Woohoo! 1,000 people want to hang out with the weirdness that is StreamGeeks.
Yes, we're so excited to have
I think
all
we've
you
hit
guys.
a whole nother level of geekiness
I
today.
know, it's true. We did. And is there anybody who's new from last week that we have? I know we had a couple new.
Kyle says, nice ride.
Hey, Kyle. Nice ride.
If you're just joining us, welcome to StreamGeeks. We are in the pre-show. StreamGeeks is all about live streaming. We talk about growing your live show, the technology that's necessary, and tips for branding and marketing your show along the way.
Yeah, we're going to do a whole bunch of cool new shows coming up, too. We always listen to our live viewers and answer their questions. So Tess has Facebook and YouTube in her pocket, in her hand there.
My little space gadget here.
We can easily pull up comments. And actually, I'll just tell Michael right now, the countdown clock is gone. I don't know if you want to do that or not, but we're still in the pre-show. The show doesn't start till 2 p.m. Eastern. And there's 6 minutes left.
Today is all about live streaming space via telescope. So it's going to be a pretty exciting, fun, and out-of-the-box show today.
It'll be quite out of the box.
Hey, Gary, in the
Gary.
chat, saying laugh out loud. That's all he has to say to us, just
laugh out loud.
You guys are funny.
One of the things I'm really excited to share today is the ability to use pretty much any backyard telescope and start live streaming.
Yeah, really fun little idea brought up by our lead engineer, Matt Davis. We're excited to show you guys exactly how it's done.
Yep.
And some footage, raw footage.
Matt was telling me he live streamed the moon, and there was some raw footage there that shows the moon, but did you notice it was a little wavy?
Yes.
The shot. So he said you need to take your telescope out and get it acclimated to the temperature because it was very cold in the morning at that time.
That's what caused that.
So we'll do the post show in the TIE Fighter as well, guys. So I know you probably can't get enough.
And Ted. Matt says, expect a speeding ticket when driving around that bad boy. I know. It's like, oh, watch out, watch out.
Slow down.
All right. Ted, it's time for StreamGeeks already? Where'd the day go? I know, the day has sped by pretty fast. So we're excited to be with you guys today. For those of you just joining on, you might notice that we are in a TIE Fighter. From Star Wars, we are talking about live streaming outer space today via
Yes.
telescope, so we thought that this would be a perfect setting for today's stream. We're taking you guys along the ride with us.
Yeah.
An outer space adventure.
Hop on in. In fact, let's just show them a little bit of what we can do here. Part of doing
Back to
these
driving.
green screens and live streaming stuff and talking about Star Wars is really all about taking your audience on an adventure and showing everybody, where we can go with this technology. And it's a lot about using it. You just keep us going on a good course here. I'm going to talk to the live stream for a little while. By the way, coming up soon, we're going to do a show on lighting. I know Akeem Saunders asked about that. We're going to do a show on virtual sets and green screens, which is we're using now. And then, so lighting, virtual sets. Oh, and next week is the holiday show.
Next week is a holiday show.
I'll drive. You can just talk to the audience while I drive.
All right. Let's address a couple questions here. Ted is saying, how fast is the intergalactic SG-1001 going? So we got some diehard Star Wars folks in the chat today.
I have to look that one up and see.
Don't test my knowledge. You can shout those questions out to Paul. Garajum, hello, insane, ha ha ha. We are insane. That's one thing that can be validated about Paul and I. We are equally as insane as the other in different ways, and it's a perfect mess, I'd say.
Here we
Am
go.
I right, Conrad?
Yes, no, you're right. In fact, I was just looking up a good friend of mine, Luke Skywalker, here.
What was the meme?
Oh my God, we have the funniest Star Wars memes coming up.
MVP hide and seek, 1985 to 2015.
Yes.
That was a good one.
It's gonna be so funny.
Paul, you're supposed to be flying.
Oh,
hey, Gonzola. What are we seeing? What do you see when
well,
you're flying?
I see that we need to stay away from the Dark Star.
Okay.
And I'm feeling some dark energy over here. The Death Star.
I just did a correction on Star Wars.
Okay. Number 10. Honestly, you might know more about this than I do. I just got the magazine, by the way, guys. Great episode here. Take a look at Skywalker's story. I guess the new movie's coming out in a couple days.
I don't know. You tell us.
You tell us.
New movie coming
I'm gonna put it on autopilot. Okay.
Okay.
So we should be all right. I'll keep it on autopilot. 2 minutes till the show starts. Ride or die call out of the week.
Can we go light speed, Gary says? I love to see the stars turn into lines. Oh, darn it.
I have to save that for next show.
Yes, we will.
Next time we're in outer space.
We want to keep things under control since we're also hosting a live show.
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful and safe drivers.
If you're while you're live streaming, you want to avoid going into light speed because
absolutely, Paul.
Depending on how many live streams you have going on at the same time, you may have some involuntary volatility.
We might actually have to keep the pre-show for today's show.
I know, because
so
it's
the
so
YouTube
fun.
Viewers can see how fun.
Yes. Well, we're going to be here in the post-show
hey,
too.
George.
So.
Hey, Thomas. And Christopher.
Hey, guys. Glad
yes,
we can
December
have
14th,
you.
The Last Jedi, counting down.
December 14th. Oh my gosh, it's 3 days away. Oh, perfect timing for this episode.
Yeah. We didn't even plan that.
No, we didn't. Sometimes you just get lucky.
Sometimes you do.
Oh, there's
the
two.
Force must be
I forgot.
with us.
There's 2 Destiny cards in here.
All right, we will stay safe. Thank you, Gary.
Let's see what you got, Tess. Pick
a
card, any card.
Boom, baby. Who do I got? Captain Phasma.
Captain
Ruthless
Phasma.
Tactician.
Ooh, I got Poe Dameron. Oh, they're green. Or mine is.
I don't know.
It actually looks like
Paul,
the stars are like
we got
actually.
1 minute here. It's time for us to head
All right,
into
we gotta
our
go back to our
studio
show.
and start the show, guys. All about live streaming space via telescopes.
See you guys soon. Oh, agenda. Oh,
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of StreamGeeks Live, the show where we talk about one thing and one thing only, live streaming. A high-definition broadcast brought to you by your hosts, the StreamGeeks, Paul Richards and Tess Protesto. Available via video on Facebook and YouTube Live, plus via audio on our podcast cast channels on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio. StreamGeeks, the tech geek source for the latest in live streaming and video production. Let's get started.
Hey everybody!
Welcome to StreamGeeks episode 20.
This is episode 20, and as you guys may know, every 10 episodes we do a big giveaway. So we're giving away this.
Yes, we are giving away an InnoGenie, is it a capture card?
4K capture card.
4K capture card.
So you have to go to streamgeeks.us/giveaway to sign up, and you can win this. We're always giving away great advice, but it's great when we can actually give away free hardware.
Yeah, speaking of what we do, StreamGeeks brings you everything you need to know about live streaming, from the gear, from the how-tos, branding and marketing tactics as well. We are bringing you along the ride with us and figuring out how live streaming can be successful for you and yours. Today's a very special episode.
It is. Today we're talking about live streaming with telescopes and really live streaming the stars.
Yeah, new discovery from our lead engineer, Matt Davis. Really excited to share with you guys exactly how he achieved a amazing live stream. I keep saying I'm not over the footage he got of the moon, and he's not even perfectly happy with it, but it's pretty darn sweet, so we're excited to share that with you today.
Yeah, so that's going to be our feature topic of the week. Sorry.
Feature topic of the week.
And now it's time for the StreamGeeks feature topic of the week.
Okay, so live streaming with telescopes. I have a presentation. Yes, 14.2 Productions. It is episode 20 already.
Episode 20. I can't believe it.
We started in a little corner of our conference room with a big dream.
Like so many streamers do. They start with barely nothing, and your show grows over time in more ways than one.
We have grown in so many different ways, and now here we are in a beautiful studio, and we've shown it to you guys, and we're listening. This is a live show, so Tess is going to show your questions. As you get thoughtful, amazing questions, Tess will show them on the screen and we'll answer them.
Yes, absolutely. Let's dive into it.
All right.
What's first?
So we've got a presentation for you guys. And
He's
this presentation is it's pretty simple, it's straightforward, but some of the footage you're going to see on this screen here, taking your backyard telescope, whether it's a, what is this, a Bushnell, a Meade, I've got a couple of them over here we're going to show today, Celestron, pretty much any backyard telescope can be used for literally live streaming the stars, and we can connect it directly to Facebook or YouTube. Mm-hmm. We can put audio in, and we can also put on adapters, and that's what we're going to mainly be talking about today. So I've got a little presentation, and we'll go over that with you guys, and it's going to go over the adapters and everything you need to turn a telescope you pick up at a garage sale into a live streaming system.
Sounds like fun.
Also, it could be a university level telescope with a huge, gigantic telescope.
For some more experimental scientific purposes.
That
really
maybe,
cool.
you know, some of these great telescopes are out there, and museums, all kinds of different places can attach these cameras and get professional 1080p 60 video to live stream to YouTube or Facebook.
Fabulous.
So let's get into our presentation. It's really a fun one, and we've got a little layout. The presentation is going to include how to use these telescopes for a couple different areas. Do you want to go over that with us, Tess?
Oh, here he goes. Put me on the spot again. It ain't no thing. Okay, so we came up with a few different possibilities of what we think will be some creative ways to live stream space, stargazing, bird spotting. That's not necessarily outer space, but a different application for a telescope. No creepy peeping, so that is a little disclaimer. High optical zoom applications, stadiums and large events, and from a microscopic element educational live science experiments, fun camping like thing with your kids. We talk about this. We feel like this is going to be one of those things that you might already have, maybe. Little younger boys and girls, teenagers might have a telescope laying around and maybe a PTZOptics VL cam. Try it out. It's fun. It's cool more than anything.
Yes, it's super fun and cool. You'll be the coolest dad in the neighborhood, live streaming.
Paul's very proud of that.
These different events. Yes, I'm trying to make sure all the kids in the neighborhood have fun. So here is the camera we're going to be talking about today. So this is the PTZOptics VL cam, and that stands for variable lens. So that means we can take different lenses, whether it's the included. This is the wide angle, 120 degree wide angle included ZCAM.
That's the included lens.
Or whether we take off the lens completely, and you can actually see the image sensor in there. Let me see if I can show that. See the image sensor? That's the image sensor.
Perfect lighting.
That is the 1 and I guess it's 2.7 inch 1080p CMOS sensor that once used like this, put on this is an eyepiece, right? So this is the camera without the lens completely, and then we just take either a 1.25 inch adapter, or these are the two main adapters, or a 0.987 inch adapter. We've got both of them. Between these two adapters, we can adapt the ZCAM to, this is a 0.98 and a 1.25.
Let's be very specific. So we have a VL cam at our house already, and we have a telescope at our house. What is it that we're going to need to order on Amazon?
Yes.
To make this happen?
So on Amazon, and we've actually, if you go to StreamGeeks.us/telescope, we've got a guide for you that'll give you the exact links to Amazon, but that's what it looks like. It's just a little adapter. It's $9.99. And now I'll go ahead over to my telescope over here, and I'll show you guys just how easy it is to set this up. So I've got two telescopes. This telescope is an older one. This is the Bushnell, and the older Bushnell telescopes, these have 0.986, something along those lines, inch eyepieces. And the newer ones, this is a newer one here, have the 1.25 inch. So once we've put in the adapter on, literally, it fits right in.
Wow.
And we just screw it in. And now we have literally a telescope, which this was a $25 telescope I got at a garage sale.
Apparently, it's more expensive than that from some comments we've received.
Yeah, I know, right?
You might have lucked out.
I think I might have got a steal on this one. Now you have you have a PoE SDI IP streaming telescope.
So the only adaptation that you purchased was the little fitting,
the $10
to allow it to hang in the lens viewer.
So that's all you really need. And as you can see here, now I've got a complete live streaming telescope.
That's awesome.
That makes life
Edward says,
super
can I
easy.
control the zoom on that camera with vMix? Other software? Can you control the zoom on the variable lens cameras via vMix?
With the variable lens cameras,
Matt says unfortunately not.
Unfortunately, you cannot. And basically the zoom would actually be done by the telescope, believe it or not. So here we are using our PTZOptics VL cam there. The good news is that we can run one Ethernet and one SDI cable, hundreds of feet at SDI for video, or we can just do Ethernet for video because we're not doing high-speed motion here. Although it would be nice to get 60 frames per second for a shooting star.
Ted says telescopes could sometimes act as very long lenses for events. Interesting use.
It can. I mean, you could use this for a long spotting use case for different things. So actually, with this, I believe the farther you pull that in and out, that's the zoom. That's how you zoom. There's other lenses and things that you can do, but this is a great way. This could be for literally if you were up in your box, your press box for your football stadium and your live streaming, and you wanted to use something like this as a way to get a 100x optical zoom, it would be a great application for something like that as well. And of course, all of these telescopes have So that's that one. And then I'm going to show this one up a little closer now. This is the ZCAM for $499 with the included wide-angle camera. And Michael, can you show the view from our ZCAM that we have here? Because we actually have one in our studio. And it's a cool view. I always love these ZCAMs to just kind of tuck behind different spaces to show a behind-the-scenes look. So I believe we have one here. Here's the shot here of the camera. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the lens off. And I'm going to plug in. Actually, I haven't even tried this, but I haven't done this live yet.
Oh man, the pressure's on now.
Oh, looks like I didn't buy the right thing because this one doesn't have the right adapter. So this one was not the right one.
There's no screw.
Yeah, there's no threads on that
there's
side.
No threads on that.
I have to double check on that one because I know a lot of people have the older telescopes with the 0.89, 0.9865 telescopes. The 1.25 inch is the newer one. That's the one you really want to go with. But there's all kinds of telescopes out there. And then imagine that you have a motorized telescope. Okay, have you ever heard of those?
No.
So a motorized telescope, what that can do is you can actually say, follow the moon. And literally, it will follow the moon by itself.
Oh, over time. Interesting.
Yeah. So you can actually set it up to just follow the moon and do your broadcast, and you have to go out. Don't you need to provide some support for the weight of the camera when it's pointed up? That's a good point. So when this is pointed up, you're saying here? Is that what we're talking about?
Matt actually responded to that question here.
Most of these telescopes have the ability to lock in X and Y in place. Yeah. So, wow, this is like so cool. It's like, yes, I have the longest telescope known to man.
Oh my gosh, this is getting weirder by the episode.
Anyway, sorry about that. Here's live footage right now. Can we cut to this? This is live footage.
This is like the money shot.
Yeah, this is live footage from Matt Davis. And
the genius himself.
He's the one who really came up with this idea. This should be 1080p. And just go ahead and just forward. I'll explain what's going on here, and then just go forward towards the end maybe. This is just kind of a little video that we posted on our channel. You could take a look for the full thing. But there we are, just screwing it right on to the telescope. And if we go a little further towards the end, there we are testing on YouTube and Facebook. But here we go. This is live recorded 1080p footage of the moon, the super moon, from Matt Davis.
From Matt with one of these cameras with a telescope.
Yes.
So this is our footage.
Now the one thing he mentioned is that the footage is just a little bit wavy.
What are those waves?
So it has to do with the heat and the cooling. So the heat of the telescope.
Okay.
When you're zooming in that much, the telescope is actually either warmer or colder than the air outside.
What would you recommend doing?
So what you want to do is you actually want to take the telescope, put it outside, and let it basically acclimate to the temperature.
Before you start recording or going live. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's just some footage there. You can see really good detail. It's pretty cool.
And he did this on the supermoon night.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's smart.
It's gorgeous.
Mike
so
says it's beautiful.
That is really our feature topic of the week. Now it's time to get into some fun information about fact checking. So we're going to do some fact checking. And here we go.
And now it's time to fact check something Paul and/or Tess said last week.
So we were talking to Matt Davis about this.
What do we need to be fact checked on?
So every week we basically are going over a lot of bleeding edge new live streaming technology, and from time to time we might actually get the facts either not 100% correct.
They might be slightly alternative.
They could be a little alternative facts. These could be a little out there.
Nothing intentional, but if we make mistakes, we like to look back, correct ourselves, and make sure we're keeping it 100 with you folks out there.
Yeah. So with that being said, our engineers and our support team and everyone who watches our show, even you guys, sometimes leave a comment and say, hey, you explained this, but it could use a better explanation or shed more light. Things change. So last week we live streamed with OBS, Open Broadcaster Software, and we actually had a lip sync issue.
We did. OBS
And I didn't know this. Apparently, this is a well-known fact in the forums that OBS almost always has audio latency.
Okay.
So, didn't know that. Something I just learned. But we found that the audio latency in OBS for our purposes is about two full seconds, 2,000 milliseconds. So that's our fact check. We weren't sure what's going on. We weren't sure if it was NDI, our network. There's so many things. It was actually just a simple audio delay required in OBS, and it's very standard. So if you're using OBS and you're having issues with syncing the video and audio, just go into the properties setting on your microphone and add a delay until you see everything matching up. So that is our fact check. We'll be coming in with a lot more fact checks on the PTZOptics and the StreamGeeks channels as we kind of correct and push forward better quality information.
Absolutely.
So our next segment is coming up next, and I won't even tell you what it is because
well, obviously,
the next segment's coming up next
instead of behind us.
Yes, this is I'm gonna let
like Matt would say, Bueller.
This is our live video moment of the week.
This is kind of our time to share some love for some of our favorite live streams that we've seen during the week. And speaking of bleeding edge, Live Streaming Pros went out on a limb and did a mobile live stream in their car.
Yes.
And how they did it was interesting because they used the LiveView Solo, one of our little favorite gadgets that we've been playing around with. Jealous. I want to try doing that mobile stream too.
I know.
Where should we go?
We're going to have to do it. I was thinking something along the lines of...
driving to Vegas. For
driving... Well, not driving to Vegas. Yeah, let's live stream our entire drive to Vegas.
That could get really interesting.
I was thinking live streaming something where we end up outdoors and then we set up a telescope and we live stream the moon or something. So the whole, like this and that all together. But let's show the video and so you guys can know what we're talking about. Here we go. This is Live Streaming Pros doing a professional mobile live stream. Yeah, we can show this. And basically, there they are. Their audio was off for the first minute, and I'll explain why. This is, a common issue with, and I actually have, I don't have my Live Streaming Solo here. My LiveView Solo is out front. They're using a LiveView Solo, and what it does is it takes an HDMI output from your computer or camera or whatever, and you can see it in the middle there, and basically that streams directly to one source, Facebook, YouTube, etc. And they were streaming from their laptop so that they could do some more professional stuff such as branding and overlays and things. But the only way when you're live streaming from your laptop to get into the live view is HDMI. So your HDMI has to have video and audio. And
apparently we missed a 360 live stream from David.
Oh.
Darn it, that would have been super cool too.
Oh, I have to check that out. I'm sure it's available. I've been watching a lot of his 360 stuff online, and I gotta wonder what camera he's using because I know he's doing some cool stuff. But the audio was not set to go out the NVIDIA graphics card. And so when you're sending HDMI and audio together, you have to have the audio playback device has to be, on Windows anyway, going out the HDMI. And he actually could have fixed it with a virtual audio cable. I'll have to tell him how to use those. So I'm not sure if they've done that before.
For all of you live streamers out there, this is also a perfect example of how to act when stuff isn't going exactly how you plan, because it happens so often. And if you sort of find yourself, frozen with fear because something's going wrong, the perfect thing to do is just let it slide, try and solve the issue, and get back to your folks to respond, apologize, and just laugh about it. And that's what they're so good at. And people love seeing that transparency. And, I see it all the time when stuff happens with us. But I was watching the comments when this happened too. Everybody was responding to them saying, I love that if you can do it, then I can do it. And if not, nobody's perfect.
So it was a really good stream. I was like, oh my gosh. And I can't believe how stable that camera is.
I know, they had such a cool setup. They had dash cams.
They have dash cams.
Yeah, they were doing a selfie stream before the stream and sharing their setup. It was really cool. They had their whole car doctored up.
Oh my gosh. So that was a super cool live video moment of the week. We also have a live viewer comment of the week, highlighting some of the cool comments that you guys have been sending our way. This is a fun one from Daniel from Nigeria.
I don't have that one.
Oh, it's not lined up? Okay. So
That's the third awkward transition we've had this show.
wow, I know we have one made, but I don't think we have it in our queued up properly. So the live, you want to read the live viewer comment of the week?
Sure. Daniel says, I've not been able to get any of PTZOptics products yet, but I have been well informed about PTZ cameras. PTZ cameras. Very informative, and to be honest, PTZOptics has made me a big fan of their live streaming. PTZOptics, cameras, and love for digital video production. Keep up doing the good work, Mr. Paul and Tess. With love from Daniel from Nigeria.
Thank you,
Couple
Daniel.
cool things about this. We have a viewer in Nigeria. That's awesome.
Yes.
That just shows, how far your reach extends with live streaming. And this one was flowery, positive, and nicey nice. And we're going to share a little bit from all sides, but I just wanted to share some love to you, Daniel, for sharing that comment to us. It makes me happy.
Yeah, that was a great comment. Always trying to pull in new ones. I know that one was a really good one. Here's a funny one that I'm really excited to share. This is not really a branding quote of the week. We decided with the Star Wars theme.
We might start having to do a weekly meme.
Yeah,
because it's
actually
fun.
we should.
And this one, for all you diehards out there, you'll appreciate.
This is a hilarious one.
He's more machine than
Man
now. Left my A off. I did that to him. Good times.
I just laughed so hard when I saw this. So it's basically, you kind of have to know the story. Do you want to explain the story, Michael?
Michael's a little bit of a Star Wars geek.
This is funny
Let's
because
switch to you. People
Ben
want to see your
Kenobi chopped off all the arms and legs of Luke Skywalker's dad. Savage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Mike sounded weird.
I did it?
Yeah.
No, I heard a little like a stutter or something. It was like, duh, duh.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can't hear you.
No. It
But,
sounds like
Huh. I'll look at it on the recording. All right, so let's cut back. There we go. So that we're working out some kinks still. We're at the new studio, so I apologize for the kinks. But
Mike. Oh, sorry. I just thought of something. Continue.
so next is our helpful tool of the week. This is a fun one. I'm really excited to share this. If you were here for the pre-show, you saw some cool stuff. If you missed the pre-show, stick around for the post-show because we're going to be doing some virtual sets, some green screening. So this is our helpful tool of the week.
And now it's time for the super tool of the week.
So I have a video to share with you on this one. This is called the ReflecMedia green screen system. I found out about this from Penn State University and Jason Jenkins from the DVE store. We got a little playlist to share to show you how this works. This is actually very similar to what we're talking about today, but with our 20x ZCAM. And basically, you see that tally light on the top? We use that to find out which camera to look at. But these cameras actually also have the ability to have additional devices added to them. And this is what's called a step ring. It's a 72 millimeter step ring.
Hashtag value add.
On top of it is a value add. It's that is called the ReflecMedia green or blue LED Reflect. That's the blue side, and then there's a green side as well. And what it does is there's a special reflective material that we can use in lieu of a green screen.
We found it to be very helpful with shadows.
Yes.
And no, green reflection onto our clothes or skin or whatnot.
Yep. That's
it
called.
It has a very clean, clear, realistic.
It looks really good. And so there's this thing in the industry called, and this is the controller here, you'll see that, called green screen spill. And that's when the lights hit the green screen, spill onto your body and your hair and different things. That's a little controller.
Not good for
there.
blonde hair.
Very bad for blonde hair. So, yours looks fine though in this green reflective.
Well, from this, yeah. But green screens,
on green
it's
screens,
rough.
yeah. So you can really dial it in. There's a dialer there, and we're gonna do a whole video on it. But I wanted to just share that. Michael, if you cut to our front area, which is right there. Yep. This is where we were sitting to broadcast our streaming area, and that is the reflective sheet there with two lights, and we'll show that in more detail in the post-show. So now it's time for, I guess we have one more little tech tip of the week.
Random tech fact.
Random tech fact of the week. So if we don't have it,
And now it's time for our random tech fact of the week.
It's just another Manic Monday over here.
That's fantastic. I'd love for you to explain the difference between a reflector and a refractor telescope.
Are you out of your mind?
Well, you've got the notes there.
Oh my gosh. Would somebody please help me with this, man? I need some assistance here. All right,
Okay.
I'll read this for you, Polly.
You go ahead and read it.
As the name suggests, this telescope has a mirror at the end of its tube, which gathers light before sending it through another mirror into the eyepiece.
That is the reflector. Okay, the reflectors is basically there's a mirror at the bottom. Your eyepiece actually looks down at the mirror, and then it reflects up at the sky.
Like a spyglass.
Those can do the best for deep space exploration because the space between your eyepiece and the mirror really that gives you that ability to really zoom into places.
I wonder how this would have done with the eclipse. Safe,
It would have
not
been
safe?
cool. I'm not totally sure, but it would have been safer than looking with your eyes.
I don't
It'd
know.
be better to have a camera
Sketchy.
that can put it on a television, and that would have been really great. Now, this type of telescope that you're seeing here,
Matt.
this is what you're most commonly used to seeing. This is a refractor, and the refractors are set up to be more of like a tube style, and you can see there just a long tube that goes down and streams that way. So those are the two different types of telescopes for our Tech Fact of the Week. It's time to jump into our giveaway. I hope you guys got in there before it ended just a minute ago. It's time to go to gleam.com and pull our next winner. You will win automatically a 4K 10. This is the 4K upgrade. Okay, this is the 4K one. Upgradable to, I just read this. Upgradable
4K.
to 10. It's 1080p 60 upgradable to 4K.
Oh, we're getting some
Wow.
fine print clarification
I
here.
apologize. Look at that. It says upgradable. I didn't even know that.
Ooh.
I just saw the big 4K
But it says
sticker.
4K. Oh.
So you might have to upgrade it.
You're getting free tech gear, so I think we're good.
It's HDMI to USB 3.0. We're going to pull a winner. Just remember, you always have to be in the live chat. We want you to join the
Claim
community
your
and be there.
prize.
Andrew Hoover.
Andrew Hoover.
Andrew Hoover.
We're looking for you in the chat. What I'd like to do...
For the record, if you had warned me, I would have prepared a nice little difference between...
You're right. I was totally unwarned.
Mirror
Tess, let's go over to our
and-
director chairs.
Okay.
And we'll chill and pull our winner and get ready to spin to win.
Okay. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da. So,
We
got
just
all-
headed from our... What am I trying to say? It was going to be cool and funny, but it's over our heads now. Let's continue.
So we have all the lighting reset in this room, and I don't know if Michael, you could share that with your wireless camera while we're picking winners and
Andrew's
chatting.
here. Congratulations,
Andrew's here.
Andrew.
Congratulations. So
On your upgradable capture card.
there's really no reason to spin to win today. Because you definitely, I'm guessing you can ask Andrew, would you like to spin to win or would you like to take the frame grabber of dreams? I think we can go ahead and roll the credits then, and we're going to go ahead and end up in our post-show area, which is our ReflecMedia green screen area. So I'm really excited to share that with you. And yes, our lighting is on point. This shot, we totally had this shot ready in the bag. And then Tess has got a really nice close-up too. Boom! That's Tess's close-up. And what else we're going to show you really quickly before we end this show is I want to show you guys the lights. Because you might notice that we got a lot of space here. We're doing really good. And I don't know, Mike, can we show them the lights? We're going to show you guys the lights. So basically what we did was we took all the lights off the floor except for one.
Ooh,
What?
things just got juicy.
What's this?
Andrew wants to spin and try his luck on
He
a free
does?
camera. So what's the deal? Does he still get the capture card if he spins and gets
No.
like what?
If you spin to win, you get what you could win a camera and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay, but he doesn't get the
Yeah, are you sure you want to do that, Andrew? Because
Now that we've clarified.
You've got a frame grabber in the bag.
The boss has spoken.
I just want to make sure you're okay with that because you got a frame grabber in the bag here. I don't want you to lose out. Let me show you guys some of the lighting upgrades. So it's going to be a little bright, but you can see here, these two bad boys are like mammoths. So these are our two big bad boys.
Those
They've
are
got
the woolly
barn
mammoths.
doors, and they look great. They've got us keyed in here. And you can see how they're mounted. You got to hit a stud on these babies. I took some pictures and videos, but I never showed it. You got to hit the stud because that is the stud right there. Same thing with over here. That's a stud. You got to hit a stud with these lights because they're heavy. They're going to be on the wall for a long time. Over here's our backlight. We've got a nice diffuser on there. We're looking at getting diffusers for all of our lights. This one's already got a diffuser. This one's still on the ground, and we're going to do a whole show on lighting. I'm just briefly showing you the latest. And then we got this puppy up here. This one still needs a diffuser as well. We bought a diffuser box, which I have to cancel because I realized I don't think it's going to fit on there properly. That's the lights. Just wanted to show you guys that. Just a few upgrades. We also mounted Mike's camera over here. That's our ZCAM on the wall. These cameras are great for little behind-the-scenes shots, wide-angle cameras.
And for showing off your awesome producer.
Yeah, you got to. Love the backlight stands.
People want more of you, Michael, so
yeah, they're
give them what
demanding
they
more,
want.
Michael. So I think we can roll the credit. Or does he really want to spin?
Let's give it another minute.
We're going to give you just a chance to claim your prize. Let's roll the credits.
Official answer. Spin or no spin?
Yes, please.
We're going to roll the credits. Don't forget to head to facebook.com/group/StreamGeeks. That's where we hang out after hours.
Yeah. I feel like we should head to our...
Andrew wants to spin. We gotta go back. All right, we're gonna go back and spin, Andrew. John Thompson. Oh my God, Andrew, the excitement. He said, I don't know. Let's spin.
All right, just like that. He wants to spin.
All right, I'm coming back.
All right, he wants to spin. All right, Andrew, I hope you win because we came all the way back from outer space for this.
All right, here I am.
Let's.
This isn't working so hot.
Move some telescopes out of the way.
This is always live action here. I'll tell you.
Okay.
You want to spin? Here, I'll just be Vanna.
So you could win. There's an NDI
Vanna with
upgrade
Leia
on
braids.
here. There's an IP joystick. There's a free camera. Another IP joystick. But then there's also 2 virtual set packs. I'm
getting a little nervous.
Sunglasses. So.
All right, boss.
We'll see. Go
Do
ahead.
it. Oh, me? 1, 2, 3.
Ooh. Virtual set pack.
Oh no! We gotta say what we're feeling.
Oh, what are you
That
gonna do?
hurt my heart.
That hurts. I'm so sorry, Andrew. All right. Well, what we'll do, just in the spirit of good fun, is that next week we will give this away next week as well. So someone's still gonna win this. But Andrew, I was saying maybe you shouldn't.
Whoa.
What?
Things just got complicated.
Why?
Because we were supposed to have deleted that.
The virtual sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to take the virtual sets off here. So let's just call that a spin again.
Are you for real?
Yeah, we're supposed to take the virtual set packs off because they are now free.
Okay, virtual set packs are now free, so they're null and void.
They're null
So you're
and
giving
void.
him another spin?
All right, one last spin for Andrew, and then
Make it a good one.
All right, boss, you got it.
vMix mousepad.
vMix mousepad.
All right. Yeah, I told you had the frame grabber in the bag.
Yeah, we
All
did.
right.
We did.
Next week,
warn.
someone's going to win a frame grabber. We're in the post show, so we're going to go over to our Starship.
We're going
Trooper.
back to our TIE fighter.
We're going back to the TIE fighter.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a
Answer all
minute.
your questions. I hope you guys have some. Is he upset?
Oh man.
Don't forget to turn your mic off. All right, so we are here at the post show. I need to get. That's what we're gonna have to look at, unfortunately.
Quessy wants to know what brand of microphones we're using. A little mix and match.
Yes, we are using DPA microphones.
DPA Define, and this boom mic that you're hearing us from right now is by Shure.
It's by Audio Technica, actually.
It's by Audio Technica
Yeah.
and not Shure at all.
So it's an Audio Technica boom mic, and it's a fun one.
If you guys want the virtual set pack, because we're getting questions about that now, you have to join. You do have to be a member of the PTZOptics or StreamGeeks user group, and the link is in there, I believe.
Yes.
If not, I will go ahead and repost that after the show today.
In the Facebook user group, you can click on the left-hand side. There's a search, and if you search virtual set pack, it'll pop right up.
Column is low. Are we low?
Column is low.
We are low.
It's very low. Got to raise the volume.
Ooh. Do you want to do a little testy?
Test, test, test. 1, 1, 1.
Oh, 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 oh.
Gonna get us in trouble. Audio is too low.
Oh, I was just being illegal.
See what you can do about the audio, Michael. He probably can't do a
Is there
whole
anything
lot.
on the microphone itself out here that
I'll
we can
turn it up a little
adjust?
here.
I wasn't
Good
looking
mic.
directly at you, Mr. Microphone. I'll be sure to
Yes.
address my words directly at you from here on out.
We have to talk directly to the microphone, and yeah.
White noise.
That's what it is. That's what it was.
Yep. And our sound masking on.
Oh,
Rookies.
every time. Every time.
We are surely a work in progress.
Oh my
friend.
gosh, every time. Here, let me just see what we're looking at here. There we go.
Oh no.
Yes,
that's just me waiting for you. This is embarrassing.
Oh my gosh.
It was the sound masking. So the
Okay.
audio should be better now.
Yes. So, ideas for upcoming shows, if you have them, throw them in the chat. Lighting, which we can't do right away because we're just not there yet.
We're
Although,
getting there.
Michael, if you want to show the behind-the-scenes camera that actually... Lighting. Oh, virtual sets. Oh, also, for next week, which is the holiday
Where did
show...
we get this virtual set?
I built it custom.
You built it custom?
And you can't just get a Star Wars TIE Fighter for free.
Shoot. You might be
But
able to give that away.
If, we're going to... Well, it's kind of Star Wars property, but...
So, Paul has rights to Star Wars property, but
I know some people in Star Wars. No,
Disney might come after
if you guys are interested, I think we have to be careful about giving away Star Wars TIE Fighters.
Okay.
But hit me up in the Instagram DM and I'll see what I can get you guys.
Give me the
for that.
DM.
But we're gonna do a show on virtual sets and how to make them. 'Cause I think people would like that.
Yeah.
But next week is the holiday show, and what I was thinking the actual core content would be is using Photoshop and After Effects to do the live
to do all the fun little
lost audio on the
slide-ins.
wide shot. Oh, we lost the audio on the wide shot.
Apologies on that.
Sorry. Michael might not even know because he can't hear us.
I can hear you.
So you cut out when you switch cameras.
Can you show that on the screen so that
I
Michael
wonder
can see
why.
it? because he basically has this on. Yeah, I still gotta show Michael how to make sure.
I want to
that
put these
audio,
lights up higher.
Yeah, you think they should be higher? I'll put them up a little more.
Well, we don't have to. What about the...
That's true. HDI cameras are shipping soon.
We did release a specific date for those of you who haven't seen the posts yet today. January 3rd for the Gen 2 SDI NDI firmware upgrades for PTZOptics. Though this is StreamGeeks, but those of you who are wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling vMix Social back up. Could we do a review of the frame grabber?
Which one? Oh! Yeah,
The
probably
energy.
should. Probably could, yeah. Probably be a good idea to thank them for giving it to us.
Does he have the audio to follow?
Yeah, he does. He's got the audio. Michael has the audio on follow.
Okay,
so
no more wide shot then.
it drops off on the wide shot unless you turn the audio mix off.
Mm.
Basically, the audio is following, so it's muting itself when you go away from it.
So this is us from the inside of
The
your
TIE
design
Fighter, yeah.
of the TIE Fighter. So really, if we were turned around, this would be like the realistic
This would be,
view.
yeah, the more realistic
Though this
view.
is probably going to inhibit audio.
Well,
a
it
little
depends. I mean,
bit.
I think
we would be like driving.
Yeah, I think both are realistic because.
And so yeah, we turn around and we're like speaking to our minions, our stormtroopers
Yeah,
or something.
stormtroopers. I think both are realistic because when you're in a spaceship, you could be looking either way. You could be looking out at the stars. Or you could be
Right,
looking
they
at
had that one like
controls.
pedestal seat
Yes.
that the pilot gets to be in.
And we get to watch ourselves 30 seconds beforehand.
I know. Let's
Yeah.
go back to vMix Social here. That might cover things for us today.
You need a mic on that ottoman and move the mic there. That's a good point. We need to move the mic closer to us. That's what I
Just
think.
so, okay.
Honestly, I forgot because Mike doesn't use that little mic stand that we got him. I had that thought.
Mike the mic. Whoop, whoop.
I had that thought. So
We have a mic stand to go with that.
No, it didn't come with one, but these things need to be really
JP
close.
says you mentioned at one point a new PlayStation controller for cameras. Any update on that?
Yeah, you can. You can control the PTZ cameras with an Xbox joystick.
Okay.
So that is
Via vMix
yes.
and or Rokosoft?
Mhm.
Yes.
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 Excuse me. So that's how you do that.
All right. So that's all we got to say about that. Drop it from the ceiling. 142 Productions.
That is a really good idea.
Sometimes I feel like we're having like meetings, like team
Yeah.
meetings while we're live.
It's true.
Our audience is like part of our team, and we're like, so, what are we going to add to the show next, friends?
Well, I know the audio drops out when we go to the far cam, so we won't. But the first thing we're going to do, Tess, is we're going to get these lights off the floor. And we're going to wall mount them.
Yes.
So we get the lights wall mounted. One's going to be there,
Hmm.
which is going to be a little low, but
I noticed the wall mounting of our other lights in the studio has helped with the glare on my glasses.
yeah.
So I like the idea of getting them mounted from the ceiling so they could be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Hewitt, I like this comment. Adobe Character Animator via NDI. Let's make an avatar for Tess.
We actually did that, and we kind
What
of...
happened with that? We were going to do...
still have them.
So it was Infocom, and we were going to have three-dimensional, because one of our affiliate companies is into 3D LEDs, giant screens, awesome stuff. And we were going to have giant 3D animated characters of us. But what happened?
Well, basically what we were thinking is that, because we didn't go to Infocom.
We didn't go.
So we were thinking maybe we could actually be in a television with audio and video and hear and like talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
But we were actually going to be characters.
It's going to be pretty cool.
It's pretty interesting. Unless you're really making like a cartoon show, though, it's
we
not
did
that
once play with Face Rig, and we were like a little
we did.
elf and a fox or something. So we have done that before. Right, 142 Productions. We don't even have a sink. How could you see dishes in a sink?
We need to block dating for
Well,
blank.
I already thought I did.
You just need to
Listen, risque
report
people.
red reporter.
You better
too.
scram.
There.
Because this is PG around here.
You can report her too. But I guess you didn't really say anything inappropriate.
I don't know. Okay, so how come those people can be on YouTube, but I say like crapola and then our stuff gets flagged?
Yeah, that gets flagged.
Let's talk about that.
I don't know, Tess. They always give you. So you just saying they can always get 2 more receivers and just have the same channel. Ooh. You need to get an antenna system for your wireless system set up. The BLX system we purchased does not have antenna input. Probably should have got the ULX because that's what everyone always gets. But these BLX systems are so cheap, I thought would be okay.
Thank you, Dennis. I'm glad that you're with us live today. If you normally are catching the recorded version, we're happy to have you.
Now let's talk about break rooms. And those
Dennis
dishes in the
was
sink.
We don't have a sink.
Yeah, I
We do
know.
have dishes, I'm sure, lying around.
Yeah, it's interesting because we're starting to find that line between live streaming in the studio to live streaming in the hallways, the office spaces, and eventually, because we just moved in, everything's going to be like ready for that. But I feel like the meeting space and shows the lunchroom. You can kind of see the ladies' room on the right a little, the door to it, and so it's funny.
But engagement is engagement, right? 142 Productions probably commenting on that person commenting. Yeah.
It's true.
But, let's see. Is there any info to stream live to Instagram? We at Studio HD keep getting clients to stream to their Instagram page. Any knowledge? Interesting topic.
You live streamed to Instagram
streaming.
before?
I've only live streamed to Instagram in selfie mode.
Yes.
We've never used, stream key streaming to Instagram.
No, I don't think they've opened it up yet.
Part of our plans for 2018 involves some Instagram integration, so you can stay tuned for that. We have to be the test dummies and figure that out for ourselves first.
Yeah.
Pretty soon we'll just be the master of all. Right now we're the master of none, something of all.
So D. Geckler is asking why we stopped using the wireless mics. They do not work up here.
I think you're a master of vMix.
I'm pretty good at it.
All right, Kyle.
In fact, one time I was talking to Martin and Tim, and they were joking. They were like, I was like, how do you do this one thing? And they're like, do you need a tutorial on vMix? I was like, no, I don't. But yeah, that's why.
Geckler. Our mics were popping out when we were in our front studio. They were going in and out.
Yeah.
Can't have that. Audio should be like first priority with your live streams.
One of the things I keep forgetting to do, but I'm going to do this, is when Tess and I make the transition between the studio to here, I want to almost have a layout where it shows.
We can do
here's
that.
what I want is the floor plan where it shows us moving.
Like Harry Potter.
And the floor plan will be long like this, and then on the other parts there will be 3 cameras. So you'll see the studio, the hallway, and then where we end up. And you see like a little thing.
Like mini
footsteps.
Yes. Walking to, We need something that's transitional.
And then you can have it just
so
like
you're not
stop.
just seeing an empty set.
You can have it just stop at the fridge real quick and grab a water, and then just keep going.
So can you verify if the ZCAMs will eventually get
Yes.
an NDI upgrade?
They will, and that's one of the exciting things about the ZCAMs. So the NDI upgrade will officially be available January 3rd. Tess was pushing for an early release. No.
Matt, that is not true.
No, it's not true. Tess.
I'm just kidding. It's all true.
Put the wireless mic receiver in Tess's office and run an XLR cable back to the production deck. That should be good enough. Yeah, I probably should. The cam in the hallway is a very nice transition between sets. Thank you. It is. And that's a cool thing about NDI. We can put cameras everywhere and literally no problems. One Ethernet cable.
Virtual external camera to your phone for live streaming to Instagram. Bring vMix or Wirecast. I'm trying to think. That's one of the things you have to think about.
I haven't heard about that. I've heard... You know who's probably going to be the first person to do it, Hewitt? It's probably going to be an NDI plugin or app.
Yeah, but could it be... What about that Wirecast camera?
So the Wirecast camera,
is a mobile camera.
the NDI camera, it all uses the camera in your phone. None of them can actually take what vMix is creating and send it out.
No, I don't want to say yes or no, but I believe you can still purchase the discounted NDI upgrade up until January 3rd.
What?
Can
Oh.
customers purchase the discounted NDI upgrade up until January 3rd?
No. Actually, January 3rd is when they can purchase.
No, but they can pre-order the upgrade for a discounted rate.
Yes, you can pre-order for the discounted rate, but the discounted rate is not going to go away January 3rd. The discounted rate goes away when the PTZOptics NDI cameras are shipping.
Really?
The real cameras. The cameras with NDI already on them.
Okay.
Because this whole firmware upgrade process is not ideal. And you have to go and get the serial number and the MAC address and do the firmware and do the upgrade. And we don't want our customers to all have to do that. It's supposed to be simple and easy. So basically, once the simple and easy perfect NDI cameras are shipping, which I'm guessing is March, April, that is when the firmware upgrade will go away. But I'm not exactly sure on a date there, but it will not go away January 3rd, and I will double check that.
So we don't have to fear that happening.
Yeah.
142 Productions wants to talk about delay on live videos. It kills his interactivity, or hers, I don't know. Have you found there's more of a delay on one platform versus another?
Facebook is really good. Hi, Jeff Adams.
Facebook has less lag than YouTube.
But YouTube has an ultra low latency option,
which we don't use because buffering?
We do not use it not because of buffering. Well, basically, this is what happens. So buffering is a good thing, believe it or not, in a way. Because what happens is you live stream to YouTube. And between us in Westchester, Pennsylvania, outside Philadelphia, to California, or wherever they have their servers in New York, or wherever it is, there's a space between them.
10 in California.
And what can happen is that basically we start sending the video, and slowly some packets drop or things happen, and blah, 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 and latency between our streaming software to their server to the transcoder they transcode it from 1080p to 720p to 480p to places in India that might not have as good internet.
Okay.
Lower bit resolutions, and all that takes time. And so what happens is that the transcoding is what takes all the time. Now, the transcoding is a very good thing because we want to be able to deliver video to people's cell phones with poor access to internet. So it's all a good thing. The transcoding is what takes all the buffering time. Now, what happens is
making sure that it's not like
skippy. It basically will just say, okay, there was a little bit of the signal's not as strong. Let's just go ahead and put a buffer in here and wait for those packets of information to deliver, and then deliver it. And then when it buffers, it just goes, okay, hold on. We don't want to skip the information. We want to just wait a second until it's ready. Now, if we want to do zero latency, which the ultra low latency on YouTube, what happens is that what do? We just literally, there could be like 3 seconds, like, oh, it needs to be perfectly in time, perfectly in sync. Well, what happens? All that stuff in the buffer is gone. So I could be saying something and then whoop, go back to real time. Oh, what did he just say? Oh, it's gone.
Okay.
It just got skipped over because we'd rather have it be zero latency than have it.
And that's what happens in the low latency mode.
Yes, can happen depending on the strength of your internet connection. And internet connections are so good, you should check, see what happens. I've seen. Even now, back in the day, now when I say back in the day, I'm talking about 2.5 years ago when I first started streaming, what would happen is that if you were in the low latency mode, you would a chunk would be gone. And you'd be like, oh, well, did you just hear that? Like, it'd be like, but so what I'd rather do, and the reason why we use our normal, just regular standard streaming protocol is because most of our views are on demand. And we don't want, like, part of what we're saying to be skipped on demand. Now, here's a funny thing in StreamGeeks that's good. Tess, can you show us the stats for geeks? Can you explain how to get to that?
Okay.
So you hit the cog.
And you right-click the cog.
Right-click the cog.
And it says Stats for Nerds. And I don't have any control over our stream right now to display. So if you right-click the cog on the YouTube stream, you'll see Stats for Nerds. And yeah, you're getting some information from there. What do we see that I would understand?
So there's dropped frames. We've only dropped 38 frames. That is insane when we're streaming at 30 frames per second. So throughout this whole broadcast, 1 second worth of information has been dropped. That's that whole
That's not bad, eh?
Yeah, and if you think about it, over an hour almost of frames, so the viewers cannot notice 38 dropped frames over a full hour.
Right.
It's just so minimal that you just can't even notice it.
And it's not at one time.
That's what it's all about, and I don't think there's any buffering really either. So that's what they're basically optimizing the dropped frames, so they're gonna happen, and then it's optimized for normal latency with a latency of 26 seconds and a buffer health of 18. So that they can actually call it health. Like they're buffering our entire stream. So they take our stream and they build in a 15-second buffer, and they say, all right, like we've got this whole buffer here. So if it starts data coming in slower, we can get rid of a little bit of time here and there just to smooth it all out.
Oh, so that's why they're dropped.
Yeah, the drop frames just happen. The drop packets are inevitably going to get dropped. Just 38 frames dropped out of 22,000 is not bad at all.
Okay.
But it's the buffer that they put in between us, the live viewers. So that's where Google can go ahead and say, all right, this is my space between real time and the delivery time, and I can kind of get flexible here a little bit.
Mike says, once we all purchase our NDI upgrades on January 3rd, you should do a live show and we can all upgrade together. That sounds like
Yes, that is the plan, Mike. So you might notice that January 3rd is a Wednesday, so that is a Back to Basics show.
Back to Basics. Summit Baptist Church, we are using 20x SDI cameras. Is there a way to make the camera pan and tilt speed ramp up slowly when you start a pan or tilt using... And I have vMix is just cutting it off.
So,
using the browser interface or the IP joystick.
The IP joystick has 3 speed settings. So there's a speed button on the IP joystick. So when you first start panning it, all you have to do is just hit the speed button.
Do you have to stop moving to change the speed? That's the question.
I think you probably do.
What if you were just using your camera's remote?
The camera remote doesn't have as much ramping.
They have slow. No, I'm thinking Zoom.
But what software are you using? Because vMix does a great job of ramping with the Xbox joystick.
Really? Yeah, we're just truth givers here. We can't be biased.
But yeah, the IP joystick has 3 speed settings.
142 Productions. But you're live streaming from space right now. Don't we have technology to make it faster? We struggle from the same thing. For example, when we do our giveaways, we have to wait that minute to make sure that, the winner is in the chat and has a moment to respond. So it can be frustrating, but you just have to think of creative ways to adapt to it. Now, I don't know what your application is, but there are certain things that maybe you would need 0 latency, and I don't know the solution to.
Like things that need super low latency. Gamers really like the low latency because people are interactively chatting. Anything where the chat, like our chat and the people that are watching us now, it's important for us, but we're taking those questions and answering them one at a time, and a 20 to 10 to 20 second latency has never been a big issue for us. Mm-hmm. But if there's people chatting about, the goal, or, the takeover of this game, or something that's like super fast and the chat has to be that important, then it becomes more important.
Mike heard rumors that the Pan-Tilt Zoom app may have the feature to program set zooms in the future. Am I wrong?
I heard rumors that the Pan-Tilt Zoom app may have features to program set zooms in the future. Am I wrong? So there's some interesting new features coming out that we're going to be talking about. This Wednesday we're talking about audio, but if there's a following Wednesday before the holidays, I'd like to talk about it. There's some new features in the firmware of the cameras, either available now or coming very soon, to allow you to have presets, obviously with zoom levels, but also focus levels, color profiles, different. I'm not sure exactly everything that's in there. He's talking about
the Zoom app.
Feature may program set zooms in the future. What do you mean by that? Because of course it can do set zooms.
Like your preset might include a different, amount of zoom.
Yeah, they all do, always.
Right.
You zoom, you pan, tilt, zoom, set a preset. Pan, tilt,
Okay.
zoom, set a preset. So of course
Program
it does that.
set zooms in the future.
What exactly, Mike, do you mean? Is there
We'll
something?
get back to that.
There's,
when
I
he
know he's
responds.
working on some really cool new features. I think the cool new feature that he's working on is what's called triangulation, and this is really cool. So basically, our cameras will do, pan, tilt, zoom, and it all happens really fast, so you barely notice it. It's like,
Mhm.
but what he's going to do is he's going to triangulate the shortest distance between the pan, tilt, and zoom, and go in between panning and tilting and zooming. He's going to issue all three commands at once. Like, so if here's camera, here's where we want to go. Right now it would pan, tilt, and zoom. But what he's going to do is triangulate the whole thing, so it goes zzz. That I know he's working on, and it's William Brown.
John, will the NDI PTZ cams just be the current Gen 2 cams with the NDI firmware pre-installed, or will the hardware be different?
That's a good one. Show that one on the screen. That's a great camera question, John. They are completely the same. The only difference is that, and there's actually a cost savings of $300 right now of you going through the firmware and updating it yourself. And I'm having this funny deja vu from like being 12 years old and working on a computer program and being introduced an option where if you install the program yourself, it's this much, but if you buy it this way, it's more expensive, whatever. But
Common marketing tactic.
something along the lines of that. But right now it's cheaper, but you have to actually
Get
do
it
the
now.
firmware upgrade yourself. It probably will take 20 minutes.
Okay.
And hey, people
Mike
are
is talking
busy.
about triangulation.
That's what he's talking about.
Good
So
news for you, Mike.
that's coming out.
Hewitt's giving us a tip for the green screen. He always does a Gaussian blur in the background because the background's a little sharper than we are,
Yeah.
so it makes it look a little unrealistic.
That is a
Good tip.
great idea. Now that only works when you have two separate video files, or else we'd be Gaussian blurring ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great
But we are
way.
layering files right now. We could just have the input MP4 of the background loop. and
Yes, but
adjust
we don't want
that.
the background loop to be Gaussian blurred. I think what I'm not sure what you
No,
was
he's-
talking about.
well, that's what he's saying.
Gaussian blur.
Slightly.
Oh, because that does make sense. Because sometimes it is too sharp, and I've thought about that. So the other thing you can do, Hewitt, and I don't know if this is what you're mentioning, but if you can separate yourself from the green screen and have the green screen be a little blurry, without any special Gaussian blur, but just the fact that it's called bokeh. We're in focus, that's out of focus.
We could possibly fake that with an After Effects effect or something
Probably, yeah. I'm interested in
We'd have to
what
re-render it, of
Hewitt's
course.
doing. 'Cause it sounds like an After Effects thing. I'm not sure if he does that live. I'll be zooming out with the click of a button.
Mike's saying that he'd like to be zoomed out, and then with a click of a button, it slightly zooms in to a set point. He was talking about the triangulation.
And there's the speeds, which they've done so well in that application, the Pan Tilt Zoom app, available for iOS and soon Android. The ability to, choose the speeds and slightly go back and forth. So, Mike, you're absolutely right.
I will say, and do you agree with me, the green ring is a little disorienting after a while.
Yeah, because you just start looking at it.
I'm just constantly seeing flashing, and then having to look at the chat. I'm like, what is going on?
But I don't think you can see it in the reflections or anything. It only reflects off of this. So, but I mean, it definitely works.
All right, let's see what else we have here. That might cover it for us.
It's in After Effects, yeah.
After Effects. Thank you. In After Effects, indeed. After Effects is our friend,
Yeah,
and we
because-
will be touching on After Effects in the holiday show next week.
Yeah, we will.
Be sure to
And
tune in
you,
for that.
If you could send us some information about what you're doing in After Effects, we could probably share it next week. Just make sure to wear a Santa hat.
Yeah, if you wanted to share a video clip, that would be much appreciated. We are looking for content for the holiday show, so if you have any fun ideas, let us know, email us, or Facebook message us. Till next time?
Till next time.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We are StreamGeeks.
Take care, everybody.
It's hard to know if we're
Yeah.
The intro's
Is
going.
this dancing?
You're good.
This time. So this, I gotta make sure that doesn't happen again because that should have stayed on.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Pretty good show though, right?
Yeah. Great job.
Really? Oh my gosh. I want to watch it. Did it come out really good?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Alright, stop streaming.
In a way, I'm so glad that Andrew respawned because now we can give away 4K frame